Say you want a revolution, well, you know, we all want to change the world. But if you go carrying pictures of Chairman Mao, you ain't gonna make it with anyone anyhow. Boom, 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 boom. And you know it's gonna be. God, man, I recorded the tier 2 before I did the tier 1. And my knockers are really looking chicky. I've been eating like an idiot for the past week. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast. I'll try to keep some degree of professionalism on this whole escapade from the Back Alley Comedy Club Auxiliary Studio. That's right. Donnell Rawlings with 4 appearances, over 2 nights, I should say, at Back Alley Comedy Club. You're going to want to check this guy out. 6:30 and 9:30, Friday and Saturday. Chappelle Show vet. This dude got fired from radio one time. So he was on in some station in New York. I don't know, some R&B station. He said something that got him in hot water. He got his ass fired. Can't wait to talk to him about that. I'm sure that'll be great. He's supposed to be in this week. He'll be like, yeah, thanks for bringing up bad memories, stupid. So Donnell Rawlings, he's also known as Ashy Larry. That was like one of the big sketches he did. A lot of people enjoyed that character. For Donnell Rawlings. 2 nights at Back Alley. ShermanBowlingCenter.com for tickets. Okay. This is the recording of the Tuesday podcast. We do it on we do it on Monday night. Now, this Monday, here in West Michigan, was a cluster bleep. Snow just kept hammering. I went to bed last night, no snow. And you know it's bad when, though not one snowflake has fallen, and the superintendent of schools cancels school, though no snow had fallen. That's rare. Excuse me. And I know the superintendent personally. I've known him for years, and he's known to really drag his feet on the snow days. Not this time, though. He knew it was bad. He looked at the radar and said, all right, Rockford's closed, Kentwood's closed, freaking Hudsonville's closed, Frozen Toes is going to close it down now. And he did. So, piled up. I think we got about a good foot. No big deal. We shrugged that off like nobody's business here. Unbelievable infrastructure. Clearing the streets, my God. But it was so damn cold. It was like sand. This was like the ice planet Hoth here. No joke. My dogs, okay, they're all short. O'Neill is the tallest of them all. Daisy's in the middle. Bruce is small. He was buried. He took one step and he was like, he couldn't even run. Completely covered in snow. So that was a event. Try to get, and then the dogs don't like to take a dump when the snow's going right up their keister. So O'Neill did okay. Daisy, I don't know. Bruce, boy, definitely not. They don't, I thought they'd like take their bodies and like clear out an area and then like take the dump. But no, we go for a walk and then they hold it. I bring them inside and take a dump on the floor. I go, why did I just walked outside for 30 minutes with you to take a dump. You didn't go. Now you come inside and take a dump on the floor. That happened twice today. I'm like, oh, well, it's a cost of doing business. Have to deal with that. Excuse me. We're still struggling here. I'm the best in terms of ill. I'm not as ill as the rest of them. Jim is, I think the kid's down to like 16 pounds. He weighed like 195 when he started getting sick. Now he's down to 16. As you can tell, I am not a picture of health. I feel the energy is starting to pop back up, though. As you might notice that. Hang on. I gotta get something. this is for the people that are watching. First of all, I want to cover this too. Joe Kowalski reached out to me and said, hey man, I'm a tier 2 subscriber. I pay you $10 a month. And I don't think I'm getting my money's worth. And I'm like, dude, come on. Give me a... He goes, you haven't posted a new video in a while. Last time I posted a new video outside of a studio video was Saturday. It's Monday night. I posted 2 on Saturday from the hockey games when Larry Figursky hit me in the face with a t-shirt. And the other one, during the, when I was introing the team for the hockey game, a behind-the-scenes video. And I'm like, plus, man, the tier 2 video on Patreon is there for you every single day. That's the point. You have access to that with your $10. So, you know, here we are, 16, 17 episodes in. I already got people saying that they're getting ripped off. Look, I'm telling you, you're not. I would never do that to you. So I'm like, oh God, I don't know what to tell this guy. He goes, you started putting your videos on YouTube though. What am I paying for? Dude, I was putting them on Facebook. I just took them off Facebook and put them onto YouTube. It's the only thing that's changed is the platform. And that's for the freebie. The tier 2 one is the one you really want anyway. That's not the freebie. So I'm giving you everything I promised you. Man, that bummed me out. I was like, come on, man, I'm doing it. I want to show this off to you. I bought this. It's made by a company called Mevo. You can't see it if you're just listening to the audio, but I'll explain it to you as best I can. I bought this in February of 2016. When I purchased it, I was one of the first people to buy it. I bought it, actually paid the money, when they weren't done making it. And they kept delaying it because they weren't done. And they kept having to do quality control things on it. And it wasn't quite up to snuff. It's a camera. And what it is a small camera about the size of a Yankee Candle. I'm showing it on the video. This thing is awesome. It is absolutely incredible, and I'm going to be able to start using it very soon for these videos, and I'm extremely excited about it because there's all sorts of fun things you can do with it through your smartphone. You got like the camera talks to the smartphone and vice versa, and you can do like zoom in and zoom out by just touching your phone. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's made by a company called Mevo. M-E-V-O. If you're in the business of wanting to do anything like this, I highly recommend this camera. You can put it up on all the usual places, Vimeo, YouTube, Facebook, and on and on. I'm still learning the tricks on this thing, but it is cool, and I think it's going to help the show in the long run with a lot of neat, fun things. I want to stress this to you, and I talk about this on the Tier 2, or on the Patreon bonus podcast. Sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about. If you have a kid, school-age kid, who on the weekend you think sleeps in way too much, and no matter what you do, they don't get up, I have just the thing for you. Don't tell them I'm doing this, but I'm hiring a drum line. About 10 people, snares, cymbals, big bass drum, tom-toms, that will quietly gather outside your kid's room, and then we will quietly sneak in and video record the whole thing while Junior's sleeping, and then we'll bust out a drumline deal and get the reaction, and we'll post it, and it'll be fun, and the kid will probably have a heart attack and will hate your guts, but my God, it'll be great. It'll be awesome. If this is something you'd like to do, reach out to me, please. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. That is a future video. All right. Where do I want to go now? Let's go here. This is a follow-up to the story about walking with Claire. There were several great TV stations that were there as part of the event going on at Rogers Plaza. But yeah, I just wanted to go over a little bit of the coverage of this thing. By all accounts, it was an unbelievably successful time building awareness for this.
It was all about people of all different abilities walking together, including young Claire, who didn't have any issues strolling in there this afternoon. The Dykstra family didn't expect to be back here.
Just shows that we're not going to put up with this type of behavior.
Walking with their daughter Claire at Rogers Plaza.
Any able-bodied person out there. If you're going to sit on the floor.
After this was captured on video when Claire was asked to leave the shopping center back on December 13th for sitting on the ground.
This isn't a therapy place. This is a
Claire is just learning to walk, part of her journey after being born without part of her brain, making it difficult for her to do physically some of the things she knows she can. She has fought from every day, from day one till now. So this family says it was an easy decision to keep fighting for their daughter. We don't want people to be scared to take their loved ones out. A lot of people have come forward.
It's Mom again, Hillary.
Thank you. Joined on Sunday by other families like them. We learned about this through social media. With parents like Erica Ramos, who drove in from Saugatuck with her son Joaquin. He's in a walker like Claire, trying to learn how to get his muscles under.
It sounds all Jack.
Claire
Sorry.
has lots of people walking with her, from Kent County politicians to dozens of kids like her. We saw it and picked it up, and I thought Claire really needed a little friend of about her age to walk with. So while the Dykstra family didn't expect to come back, we just want people to know that you don't have to be scared. You have every right to go anywhere that anyone else does. They say it's important they did for other parents like that. She's always going to be okay. Now, I did go ahead and reach out to
that hurt my ears.
owners in San Antonio, but haven't heard back at this time. However, when we previously spoke to them, they stood by the employee asking Claire to leave, saying the mall was no place for physical therapy and that children sitting on the ground posed as a safety risk. But for now, in this studio, Julie Meyer, Fox 17 News.
Yeah, that whole business about we still stand by it. How? How can you possibly stand by it considering you actually gave them an apology at one point? I will not, I still don't understand that. And by the way, every time they speak, that's another nail in the coffin. You are going to get sued. The fact of the matter is, you cannot discriminate against people when they have a disability, and you absolutely did that. I don't know how they can actually suspect that this is going to work out in their favor with that as a backdrop. Did you folks see the video of the guy, the road rage incident where the dummy, two dummies, dummy one was pissed off at dummy two. Dummy two hit dummy one's car. Dummy one tries to keep dummy two from taking off because he thinks he's going to leave. Dummy two hits the gas. Dummy one dives onto the hood of dummy two's car. I think this was in Missouri. Speeds off with him hanging onto the hood. For miles, the guy's hanging onto the hood. And you see video of people, the guy just, he's like a 65-year-old dude hanging on. And the guy who's driving, the idiot number two, he's like speeding up and slowing down, but he's not really committed to getting the guy off of the vehicle by like swerving like Bo or Luke Duke might do. But he just keeps driving like fast. And I'm like, where do you possibly think this is going to go other than either you just stopping and getting in trouble or, you know, killing the guy? I don't get it. When they finally did stop, concerned motorists kind of like boxed the guy in. They gave him a stop. One of the concerned motorists has a pistol. He pulls it out and, you know, he's holding it. And I guess he was holding the guy at bay with it. I don't know. Hang on. But the cops show up and they make that guy get on the ground with their guns. And they're like, you get on the ground. He's like, no, man, I'm the good guy here. And they're like, yeah, well, I don't know. It's weird. So, turns out that the 65-year-old guy smashed the dude's windshield with an aluminum water bottle and broke it. That's some old man strength. It's not easy to break a windshield, by the way. And both dummies go to jail. Guy with a pistol license does not go to jail, but the two morons go to jail. Holy crap! Tom Brokaw is in some hot water, and at the risk of just sounding like somebody who wants to get into hot water too, I don't know what the big deal is. Maybe because I'm not smart enough. Tom Brokaw wants Latinos to speak English and use the words work harder at assimilation. That's what he was referring to. He wants them to speak English. And I don't think that's a big deal. In fact, Barack Obama said that himself about new people coming into America when he was talking about implementing laws at the border and whatnot, and talking about immigration. He referred to that all the time. Most people do. Tom Brokaw did the same thing, and he didn't do anything wrong. I don't understand what everybody is bitching about him. This has been said before by many people. And I for the life of me, I can't figure out what the problem is. He was on Meet the Press, and this is what's going on.
Veteran TV journalist Tom Brokaw is apologizing tonight for controversial remarks he made today about Hispanics and immigration. Listen to what he said during a panel discussion on NBC's Meet the Press.
I also happen to believe that the Hispanics should work harder at assimilation. That's one of the things I've been saying for a long time. That they ought not to be just codified in their communities, but make sure that all of their kids are learning to speak English and that they feel comfortable in the communities, and that's going to take outreach on both sides, frankly.
What's the big deal?
I played those comments for Democratic strategists Maria Cardona and Keith Boykin. Here's Maria's reaction.
My reaction is that he's a little out of touch. I love him and I will give him a pass because he's probably not up to speed as to where things are.
She's like, I love him.
Apologizing.
I love him and I'll give him a pass because he's not Donald Trump. That's what she's saying.
I will give him a pass because he's probably not up to speed as to where things are today and age, especially with young Latinos.
If I'm Brokaw, I'm like, screw you. I know exactly what the hell is going on. Don't put words in my mouth. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Keith, and you, Anna, know very well that Latinos assimilate incredibly well. In fact, most Latino children speak English better than...
She speaks perfect English, and then she sounds like she's running a Tijuana brothel when she says words like Latino.
Of native-born Americans, and as an immigrant from Colombia myself, and as somebody who is raising two Latino children,
stop saying it like that.
We speak Spanish at home predominantly, but they speak better English than a lot of my English-speaking friends. And so what he's saying is just absolutely not true. Latinos absolutely assimilate.
Right.
Brokaw is now following up in a series of tweets saying this.
She said nothing, by the way.
I feel terrible. A part of my comments on Hispanics offended some members of that proud culture. From my days reporting on Cesar Chavez to documenting the many contributions of Hispanics
now he's in trouble. He's talking about everything that he's ever done to Latinos.
Stereotypes. In my final comment in Meet the Press, I said all sides have to work harder at finding common ground, which I strongly believe dialogue, not division.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with anything that guy said. So what if he said that if people coming into the country don't speak English, they should speak English? What's the big deal? I don't think that's much of a stretch of anything. And he said both sides. But anyway, everybody's going after Brokaw. I think the big story is his voice now. Oh my God, that is beyond an old man voice. What happened to Tom Brokaw? Is that why he retired? Is there an illness going on there? How old is Tom Brokaw? Hey, don't forget, everything you need is at ericzaneshow.com. Of course, the T-shirts, the merchandise, everything you need is there. That's all you need to do is go to ericzaneshow.com and click. Now, one other thing too, subscribe to the podcast. If you're just cherry picking it, do subscribe on your favorite podcast player. The RSS feed is there and everything. iTunes, whatever you need, all at ericzaneshow.com. I do have some guests coming up this week. In addition to Donnell Rawlings, word on the street is, you know what, I'm not even going to tell you. Of course, we have Ron. You'll hear from Ron on Friday. We have a special guest coming up this week. I'm going to keep it a surprise. Apologize for the short one today, folks. Things were lean. We'll get back after it tomorrow. The Eric Zane Show podcast brought to you by our friends at the Back Alley Comedy Club. Of course, send us an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Have a good one. Good night, and God bless. Woo! Woo!